Hey guys, and welcome back to how to make a WordPress website in India. I'm so excited that you could complete the hosting and domain name process. You now have your own website live, just like a web designer would make for you, using the full WordPress.org software. So you should be very proud of that. Your website will look something like this right here. And if you followed our first video, then you have a blog post live, you have a menu, you've changed up the site title and the tagline, and you're using the very hot WordPress 2017 theme. If you didn't know how to make all this, please make sure to open the Show More box below the YouTube video and just click back to the original tutorial where we get everything set up on a budget perfectly, just like I do it every time here in the States, except for we did it on the Indian hosting version and it went perfectly. Alright, so now we're here again. We're going to learn how to make a WordPress website using a free theme. We're not going to pay a cent for our WordPress theme, and we are going to do it just like a professional web developer would, guys. And I'm going to show you one of the coolest themes at the moment. I love it. We've used it in our videos before, and it's called Elementor. So let's check it out. All right, so to get Elementor, you have to click back to the dashboard. We can click in the upper left up here. And then we just have to hover on Appearance and click Themes. Now we can see the themes that your WordPress website came with by default when you made a WordPress website with our tutorial linked below. 2017, 2015, and 2016. A little bit out of order, but you have the three latest and greatest ones. And to get our new Elementor theme, we're just going to click Add New up here. Alright, now just search themes in the upper right. Put your cursor up here and search for Elementor. And you also saw a brief glimpse of all the other amazing free WordPress themes you could choose when you use our videos. Alright, so if it doesn't come up right away, that's because Elementor is actually a plugin, so tricked you on that theme. We actually need a theme to use the Elementor plugin, and the theme we're going to use is called Ocean WP. So trick search. Now just do a search for Ocean WP and we can use Elementor. You just have to actually install and activate this amazing free theme. So click install. And in my videos, sometimes you get to see me tricking myself. Not a big deal. And activate it. Alright, beautiful. Now we've changed the theme of our website. And if you open our site in a new tab, we can right click in the upper left. Then we see that our site looks totally blank and really cool. And it's sort of a blank canvas for us to create an amazing website. Let's go back to our dashboard, and now let's click on Plugins, and let's click Add New at the top. And now let's do a search for Elementor. And if it doesn't come up now, then you know that I'm really just a big fat liar, and Elementor doesn't even exist. But it does exist. It's this cool one with the maroon and light pink background. Elementor Page Builder is what we want, guys, so let's just install it. By the way, it's the one with over 1 mil installations. And then just hit activate. By doing that, you'll have Elementor Page Builder. You can put up amazing templates and just use the drag and drop page builder that everyone has come to love on your website. Alright, so Elementor's first window is going to say Getting Started. And if you want, you can watch the video. I definitely recommend it. They have some great tutorials that they make in their shop. Alright, 2-minute video, not a big deal. Thanks though. We're just going to click Create Your First Page. Okay, so that'll take you to the Elementor Page Builder. You can drag and drop anything you see on the left, like a video, into this section right here. And then you're going to get the settings on the left and the actual content as a preview on the right. To delete something, you can just hit the X button. And I just wanted to show you that that is the way it works when you drag and drop anything in, whether it's Google Maps or an icon, what have you. The problem is you're going to see all these different features and not really know exactly what to click. So I want to show you the perfect way to set up a page with Elementor. We're going to do that on our home page, and then we're going to set up a page similar to that for our About Us, Contact Us, Services, and Blog pages. Alright, so before we create anything right here, let's just hop back over to our dashboard now that we've seen the features a little bit. To get back to our dashboard, we can click on the pancakes in the upper left, and we can click Exit to Dashboard. and just leave it because we didn't really make anything right there. Alright, very cool. So now if we go to our site right here and we refresh it, there's not much here. The key move right now is going to be to set up a blank page on our home page where we can create some content with Elementor. So to do that, we just want to come back to our dashboard and click on Pages, and then click Add New, and just create a page called Homepage. Now in the template dropdown on the right, go ahead and choose Elementor Canvas and publish it. So that alone, if we refresh our homepage, won't do anything. Nothing changed. And that's because we have to set up this page that's our homepage as the homepage itself. Now it might seem a little redundant, but follow me and it'll make sense in a moment. Just come back to the Pages tab with me and let's click on Add New one more time. And now we want to make a page called Blog. And for the template, we're just going to choose Default Template and publish it. Alright, perfect. Now this is where this all makes sense in terms of our page structure. Just follow me down to Settings, and when you hover on Settings, click on Reading. And now for your homepage displays, go ahead and choose a static page, and for homepage, choose Homepage, and for post page, choose Blog, and save it. And what that does is says that we have a specific page we made, which will be our homepage, and a specific page we made, which will be our blog page. If you don't change these settings, then WordPress will just choose a default setting for your homepage, like your latest post, and a default setting for your post page, neither of which we really want because we want to be specific. Now when we go to our site and we click refresh, we'll actually see that we have a fully blank page and we can start creating. Great job. Alright guys, so here we find ourselves at a rather critical juncture because our website has absolutely nothing on it. And that means we could take it any direction. Do you try to code it from scratch? Do we put up a funny cat photo or maybe just a word like hello? The answer is none of those because we're actually going to build our website from top to bottom, starting with a large hero image, and then everything will come to life around the image we choose. Some professional web designers like building a website from left to right with columns. Others do it from top to bottom in that sort of flow, but I like doing it with a large image because that way we can decide the theme of the page and have a central theme, just like you would pick a painting for the living room and then design the couch and the decor and the rugs and furniture, you know, a fireplace, all that around the style of an image. So where do we get our image and the rest of our images we're going to use on our website? Well, I've picked out a nice handful for you. You can click show more beneath the video. This is just an example on a different video of mine. Just click show more and you'll find a link that says download images and just click right on that. Alright, and then you'll get our India website images. Just save them to your website computer. Alright, and once you've saved them, just click your Finder or your search tool, and you're going to want to open up the file we just downloaded, which is a .zip file. So once you find it, just double click it, and now you can open that folder and see all the nice images in there. So some might be familiar, some might be a bit more abstract, but we will check them all out in a few moments as we start building. So we're going to go back to our site now, and then you just want to come up to Edit Page at the top. And I'll show you how to put in our first image. It's a great way to start, like I said before, and then we can put some text and do some stuff on top of the image, and it'll all come to life. Also a great way to just have a welcome screen and like an under construction screen or something like that. Okay, so once we're on our home page here, which we created earlier on, and we set this up as the front page, if you remember. So when we're on this page editing, we're editing what people see on the very front page of your website. Perfect. So once you're here, you just want to make sure the template is Elementor Canvas, and then click Edit with Elementor. So we're leaving the traditional WordPress screen, and we're going to the new modern drag and drop screen. Takes a little bit to load sometimes, just because it's a lot of robust features. And so in this screen, you literally can just drag widgets right here from the left, like heading, drag it in, text editor, drag it in. When you let go of your mouse, that will actually drag the item in, but you can always just delete it by clicking on the X right here, and it'll go back to empty. All right, and so the most fundamental element here in Elementor that we can use to get started is the intersection. So let's try that. Just click on it, hold and drag, and then drop our intersection within the dotted lines here. Perfect. Now we can start building where it popped in at the top, and the new gray lines area would just be a section beneath the section we just created. So bring your mouse up to the section we just created at the top, and just click where I'm clicking right here, where you see several little white dots inside of a box. All right, it's going to say meet right click. Now you can access all editing actions using right click. So you can now right click to make changes, which we'll see in a moment. We'll just click got it. All right. And so what clicking on this button with the white dots inside the box did is, on the left of your screen, it'll bring up the edit section area. Editing a section is ideal now because this is like the entire container box with the blue lines around it we see up here, and that means we can put an image in the background here, and afterwards we can put some content in the middle of it, inside of it. All right, so when you're in edit section, you're going to see some options like stretch section, which will stretch the content inside of it, content width. That won't change a ton though before we actually insert some content. So let's do it, and let's click style. And once you click style, just come down to background type, and let's choose classic. And now we have the option to grab one of our images. So let's do it. Click anywhere in this gray box with the plus. Now let's upload files, select files, and now let's grab our India website images. Just double click to open the folder, and now I'm going to hit Command or Control A and enter. Okay, so you might notice this blue check mark on the image, meaning it's selected, and you can also select different images if you want, but we're going to go with our nice beautiful Worley Sea Link picture right here. And once it's selected, just click Insert Media in the lower right. Now we just want to make that background image stretch to cover the full screen and contain all the content that we'll put inside of it. So let's come on down to size and change from default to cover. Great, and now let's go back to layout and change the height right here from default to fit to screen. Beautiful. Now let's just see what we made. We can click update in the lower left. You always got to make sure to click update. And we can open the site in a new tab. All right, guys, you did it. So you created an image here, which is going to be our hero image for the website. It's just called hero image because it fills the entire screen, and I guess it saves us from the website looking weird or goofy. At least people get something pretty to look at. So now let's put some text on top of it. To put some text on top of our image, just come back to the Elementor window. And now because we chose the section element, we have these two nice little dotted boxes inside. So go back to your elements. To do that, just click on this 9 boxes icon in the upper left. And we're going to get all of our elements to choose from. And we're just going to grab a heading. So this is the second element. Just click it, drag it, and drop it in. And if you position your mouse in the right spot, you'll get this large blue line. Just drop it in. All right, very cool. So now we just need to replace the title right here, which is our text. And I'm going to write your website, your love. Now we just need to make our text stand out a little bit more. So let's align to center, and let's click style. Style is really nice because we can change text color, size, font, and all that. So let's try the text color. Click on text color, and we're going to go ahead and try to grab a color which matches our website a little bit more. See some suggestions at the bottom. But in our case, what we really want is like a bright orangish yellow. Something that could actually match these lights over here would be perfect. To match a website color exactly to something you have in mind, like these lights, what I like doing is taking a screenshot of the entire website. I'm going to do that right now by hitting Command-Shift-4 and just selecting a certain component right here, like the light. And then I'm going to open up my advanced photo editing tool, which is Picmonkey. So inside Picmonkey, you can edit photos, you can change borders, you can create pretty collages and designs for clients that they might use for a wedding or a movie or something like that. It's a beautiful tool, and even though it's premium, it costs a little bit of money. For me, it definitely pays for itself. So I'll obviously give you a link to Picmonkey below the video. I definitely would recommend you sign up to it now. You can do a lot with the free version, and the premium version saves me all the time as I make website photos come to life. So in Picmonkey, we're just gonna click Open New, and then I'm gonna click Computer, and then I'm just gonna go to Desktop and choose the screenshot. All right, so that's where your screenshot usually is, on the desktop. And now I'm just gonna click the text button. I'm gonna click Add Text, and that'll give us some text, but we don't want the text, we actually just want the color highlighter on the right. So if you click in this bar, then it'll give you the eyedropper, and we can click right on top of a certain part of the image, and it'll tell us what color that is. All right, so it looks like the center is actually white, but we want more of an orange. Once you get the right color, you have the 6-digit hex on the upper right. Just click up here, right click copy, and then come back to our website, and we're all set. All you need to do is paste this over what Elementor has generated for us. And now your text will match that color perfectly. So definitely an optional step. You don't need to be that precise with your colors, and I'm sure there's also a free way to find that color in Google too if you search around. Once you have the right color, just click the color box right here to close this window. Now let's click Typography. In Typography, we can change the font where it says family from default to any other font you might want. Just remember that a website ideally shouldn't have any more than 3, and in an ideal world, any more than 2 fonts going on that website. Just keeps it simple and makes sure people can actually read your messages. So I really love Roboto, and I think we're gonna try that out for our site. It's one of the newer website fonts and maintains simplicity with just the right amount of style. Let's bring the size up by clicking on our size wheel. And something between about 80 and 90 should do. Perfect. You can also change the weight, which would be the boldness, for example. Bring it down a little bit. You can change the transform to all uppercase. And then you can change the decoration. Not sure why we'd want that though. Okay, line height will give you more space above or beneath the image, like that. Not too crucial if you want everything on the same line, and letter spacing will of course separate your letters. So in our case, I actually like a really slim letter spacing, somewhere between about -3 and -4. It looks great. All right, now our heading is complete. Let's just click Update. Now that we're still in Elementor, why don't we see if we can add a couple buttons beneath our new heading. Let's go back to our elements by clicking on the 9 dots up here, and let's grab a button. So we're gonna skip image, text editor, video, and we're just gonna grab a button. All right, so you can drag that into one of the empty spaces here, and you'll immediately get a nice click here option. We can quickly make some beautiful changes to that button to make it fit our website. We can align it to the right, and then we can make the link go somewhere else, right here. Like for example, we can have it go to google.com. You can also choose an icon for your button, whatever you want that button to have after it. Maybe you think this will help people click it better. You can change the icon position, super easy. I usually prefer to have no icons though, because it just lets people read the text, and that's all we really need, so I'm gonna X that out. We can change the button size from small to large. Beautiful. And now I just wanna go to style. And in style, we can do the really important things like change the button color and the text color. So obviously this green is a little bit too startling for our website right now. We're going with more like blues, purples, yellows, and grays. So let's change it up. For the text color of our button, I wanna use the same color as our heading. So to do that, click text color. And then we just need to paste in the right color right here. Of course, we have that color all properly set up in the heading. So click Style, Text Color, copy your text color, and now come back to the button. Click Style, Text Color, and we'll paste it in right here, and WordPress should figure it out right away. Remember, you can close this color selector window just by clicking on this box right here where my mouse is. Beautiful, and now let's change the background color. And for this, we want it to be transparent. So how do we set that up? Well, we can actually just bring the color all the way down to a 0 using the far right column. Beautiful. Let's close this window. And you can also close this window just by clicking down in the gray. Now let's give it a border so that people know it's actually a button and not just some words. So let's click on border type and make it solid. And for the width, we're just going to give it a 2 all the way around. Beautiful. And the color itself should match the actual color of the text. I think it might have figured that out already, but just in case it hasn't, let's grab our text color from the text, copy that, and put it on the text color of the border down here, border color. Beautiful. And close it. All right, that looks good. If you want to change the amount of like radius or curve around the button, you can just do that by setting a border radius. Maybe some larger number suits your fancy, but for now I'm just going to have nothing there because the default works good. All right, padding down here would be spaced to make the button a little bit bigger. You can choose something like, a number down there, and that will change the padding. You just need to kind of know what you're doing there because paddings can actually make the button look pretty weird on different size screens because the paddings play a different role on smaller or bigger screens. So default is good there. Now let's just update. Okay, so we made a really good button for the left, and we also want a button for the right because this button would just look weird hanging out on the left. So why don't we actually just copy the button and put it on the right and save ourselves some time. To do that, you can use our right-click feature for the first time. So you can bring your mouse over to this little book-like looking icon, which is actually controlling the button itself, and right-click on it, and just click copy. All right, and now bring your mouse over to the right-hand column where the next button will go, up to the book icon, and right-click and paste it. Oops, it looks like that just made another section in the middle because it just put another button in, but it didn't replace this section. So we can just try to right-click and delete the one we don't want. All right, now let's edit the right-hand button. To do so, just click anywhere around the button. All right, and now we're gonna get the edit button settings. We can align it left, and we're just gonna change it so instead of this button style, it's like the reverse. So it has a color in the background and then a text color, which is different. So let's go back to style, and let's change that button style from background color nothing to background color something like a dark gray should suit us. And if you're not seeing the color, it's because the right hand column is dragged all the way to 0 opacity. So we just need to bring that up a little bit. Beautiful. Let's make that gray a little bit darker, and perfect. All right, now let's make the border a different color too. So for the border color, I want to make that just a pure black. Beautiful. And now let's update it. And when we go back to our website and refresh it, magically you'll see some text and a couple buttons on top of the screen. Great job. Next, we can add a free and professional logo to your website using a tool called Logo Maker. That's LOGOMAKR without the e.com. And once you get to this site, you just want to click off the video and then search for something that resembles your brand or something that you like looking at. So you could just look up something abstract like brand and get ideas, or really any concept you can think of. And there are so many different cool logos and icons to choose from. All right, I think today we're just gonna go with an elephant. Something cute, which keeps in line with our theme of Indian things. So once you find the guy you want to use, just click on him or her, and this will drop the icon into your canvas. Then you can click on the green squares to make it bigger, and there's some helpful guidelines that will line the elephant up for you. You can also click on the T button on the left to drop some text on top of your logo or to the side. And then you just write out your brand title or whatever you want to say, and you can do the click, hold, and drag for your text as well. So in our case, we're going to remove the text, and we're just going to go with the elephant itself. Just going to size it down a little more, and we want the elephant to be a lighter color because our background is dark. So I'm just going to make this color wheel go to white. And if it doesn't change the color of your icon or your logo, then it's just because it's not selected. So make sure to highlight it with the box around it and then just bring the color into whatever you want. In our case, we are going to go with white, so it's a little bit hard to see right now, but just believe it's there. Once you're ready with the right color and all that, just click on the crop button in the lower right. All right, and then hit enter, which will actually crop it, and then click the floppy disk to save logo in the upper right. Very good. Now they may offer you some option like download your files in high resolution, all these fancy options, but I don't think we're really ready to print our logo on t-shirt or clothing yet. We haven't even made our website completely yet. So we're just going to click on the download low resolution file option instead. Alright, and even though it's low res, it's actually really high res. They just call it low res. Okay, so go ahead and title your logo. And hit save. Next, make sure to click on this link that says follow this guide, or whatever it says to do for the credits. And just scroll down and make sure you give credits following Logo Maker's directions. So in our case, we have a website. All right, and what they want us to do is, in this case, they want us to say something like this, so we can just copy it. Just created my free logo at logomaker.com. Put that on a credits page, for example, and then link that text to the site. So that's really easy. We can just go back to the site and do it now so we don't forget. Once you're on your site, just hover on New in your skinny navigation at the top and click Page. All right. And then just call this page Credits. And it's a good idea to create our credits page now because you will need one eventually, so why not just do it now? Now just paste in that text from Logo Maker and make sure you link it to the site. So you can go back to Logo Maker to get their link. Just click in the URL bar up here, copy it, and now we'll just follow their directions and highlight our text, link, paste in the link, hit the gear, make it open in a new tab so people don't leave your site, update it, and just publish this page. So the page won't appear on our site right away, but the nice thing is now when you need to credit anyone that does work on your website, you can just put that right here on this page. Good job. Let's close that window. And now let's make our logo come to life. So to do that, we need to get out of the Elementor builder here. We can click on the stack of pancakes in the upper left, as I like calling it, and then we can just click Exit to Dashboard. And the way I like doing the logo in WordPress, especially when we're using the Elementor page builder, is by going to the Customize window. To get to Customize, you just need to hover on Appearance and click Customize. Then once you're here, click on Header and click on Logo and select a logo. Now upload files, select files. Let's find our logo. Beautiful. Click it and open it. All right, and now let's just select our logo. We're going to skip cropping so we keep the whole elephant. And now let's click Publish. So our logo is on the website now, but it won't show up in our header area in the upper left corner until we actually tell it to in our page settings. Let's open up the site in a new tab. And let's go to our home page and let's tell that logo to show up here. To do that, just click Edit Page at the top. And what we need is a part of the theme that gives us an extra editing area right here beneath the Edit with Elementor section. And that'll help us choose things like what goes in the header and the footer and so on and so forth. And that part belongs to Ocean WP, which, as you remember, is our theme. So to get that extra section, we just need to install the Ocean Extra plugin as it recommends at the top. And to do that, we can just click on the link. Easy enough. Now we just need to click Install Now in the lower right. And if that button's not working, we can just X out and we can go to Plugins right here. Click on Ocean Extra. Let's try one more time. And just refresh your screen and you should see the plugin. All right, there she is. We just need to click Activate and then we can use it. All right, perfect. Now we have Ocean Extra, and while we're here, let's just update now on Elementor. If you ever see this beige little bar, it means you need to update one of your plugins, which keeps them fast and secure. Okay, cool. Let's go back to our pages now, and let's make those changes on the home page to show the logo. Just click on our home page, And now, very conveniently, we have the Ocean WP settings available right here beneath the Edit with Elementor window. It can be a little confusing at first because we're not sure what all these mean, but I'll walk you through the most important ones. Okay, so starting in main, what you want to do is make your content layout a full width layout. Now we're going to leave the sidebar as it is in default, and in margins, we're just going to disable the margins because that's unnecessary white space usually that can really confuse us. We're going to skip shortcodes and go to header, and for display top bar, we're going to disable that because that's an unnecessary section. For display header, we want to enable that because that will contain our logo and our navigation menu. And then for header style, we'll choose transparent because we're going to have our logo and our menu floating on top of the background image. And we need the whole header to be transparent so we achieve that effect. Now let's click on title. And in title, we're just going to say disable the page title. So that gets rid of this whole section. All right, last but not least, you want to change in page attributes your template from Elementor Canvas to Elementor full width because we're going with that full width layout. And because if you choose Elementor Canvas, that option is more for creating a custom header and a custom footer using only Elementor tools. But I find it's a little bit easier to create the header using these Ocean WP tools, especially if we're beginners, which we are in most cases, no offense. I'm a beginner too in tons of things. And I just find, yeah, it's a little bit easier to do it this way for starters. But if you want to try to figure out how to make a header using the Elementor Canvas, that's totally fine too. I'm here to help you. All right, so now let's click update once you've made all those changes and come back to our beautiful site and refresh it, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we got a huge elephant that's actually on top of our heading and it kind of looks cool and abstract. We also got this footer area because we're now using some of the Ocean WP options. So let's see how to shrink that elephant down to size and make him go in the right spot. We're going to jump back over to your customize window, and in the customize area we're going to click back, and then we're going to click general and header, and then remove the header border bottom. Alright, and publish. And what that'll do is get rid of the white line that the elephant's sitting on. Beautiful. Now let's go back to customize, and we're actually going to refresh this screen so that we can see the elephant now, and that this screen updates with the changes we made on the other screen. And now to shrink our elephant here, let's click back to header, logo, and grab the max width meter down here, and just go ahead and adjust that elephant to the right size. So I personally like going with the really small logo and a really small nav menu because it's the minimalist approach that a lot of the best websites go with nowadays, so people can just focus on their content and have a little bit of branding. So I'm going to go with like just an even, maybe like a 85, and publish. Alright, great job guys. You now know how to make a logo, insert a logo, and resize a logo on your WordPress website. And to get our header looking perfect, we just need to change the color of the navigation menu so it matches the white of our elephant. To do that, we can come back to the page editor, and in our Ocean WP settings, just click on menu, where is it, menu, and then just click on typography. You can obviously change the font to anything you want. All right, and right now we just want to change the link color right here, link color. So just select color, we can choose the white option and just click away. And if you look at your site, you'll also see there's a hover color, which is like a light blue. If you want to change that, you can change that down here to a different hover color. And for that, why don't we go with our gold that we stole from the lights in our photo. So edit with Elementor, click on the heading, click on style, and there we have our heading gold. We'll just copy the 6-digit hex. Cool, and come back to our page editor, click on link color hover, and let's just paste that in. All right, and the color needs its pound sign, so there we go. And the rest of the settings should be good as they are. However, you can change, the current menu item. So this would be the link color. When someone clicks on one of your pages, then that page link will highlight to this color, and all these other cool features as well. All right, let's update the page though, and we are done now creating our homepage header menu. Next, I want to show you how to add more beautiful content going down your home page, and what better way to do that than with some cool featured icon boxes that can have an icon, some text, a link, and you get the picture. So you might see them on a lot of different websites, but that's just because they work and a lot of people like seeing them, and now you'll know how to create them. So to do it, just come to the top and click Edit with Elementor. Meanwhile, I'm going to remove some of our other work here, simplify the page. Alright, and now to add that content beneath our hero image, just scroll down and we're going to drag in an intersection. So we're just going to grab it from the elements and drag it in like we did before with our hero image. Perfect. Alright, so because I want 3 featured icon boxes, I'm going to duplicate one of these boxes. Either the left one or the right one is fine. And we're going to right click on the edit button right here and then click duplicate. Cool. So now we need to put in our content. Let's go back to our elements by clicking on the 9 boxes button. And now we're just going to drag in an icon box. So we can skip the rest of the stuff in basic. We will grab some of that later, and in general, you'll see icon box. So click, hold, and drag, and boom. Alright, so this actually did a lot of the work for us. We can just replace the icon, the heading, and the text. Alright, so let's do it. First, let's change the icon, and we can do this in the Edit Icon Box window on the left. So instead of the star, we're just going to grab something that would better represent our brand, like maybe all of these could work for some sort of message that you could think up, I'm sure, like tasks or Telegram, you know. Alright, so once you see one you like, just go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to grab Telegram. Alright, now we can click on View, and that can become stacked with a border or framed with a different border. And now you can change the shape from circle to square. But people generally like looking at circular items, so we'll keep circle. And we can change up our heading. So you should talk about your brand and, you know, your 3 cornerstone principles here. And I'm just gonna talk about my YouTube channel and the blog and how we deliver WordPress knowledge around the globe. Alright, so we can change our text now. Okay, I think the icon position of center looks good, but you could also align it in different fashion, and then you can change the way the text is sized here. You can make it a little bit bigger if you want with H2. Now let's click on Style, and let's change up the colors. So primary color is going to be our icon color. Alright, so we probably don't want to reuse our gold too much that we have in the heading, but a color we could use would be like another fun and neutral color. And I have a really cool service I can show you called Pantone, which gives you some of the best, most fashionable colors from New York City and around the world that people use in brochures and artwork and so on and so forth. So you can click on this link here, and what it'll do is actually show you examples of colors that work, and we can also just click on individual colors. And if it's a Pantone color, you know it's been approved by designers and the fashion world, and it generally will look good on websites. Alright, so I want to look for something like a pastel sort of situational color. And as we can see there, just by clicking on the color box, and as we can see, and so just by clicking on that color box and then clicking submit, I get like all these matches that work for graphic designers. All you need to do then is just choose one, and you'll get the website HTML hex right here. Just double click, copy, come back to your site and paste it in. There are so many cool color options that you could use. So we're going to change up the headline text color as well. Alright, so secondary color, paste it in. Alright, make sure you get that hash brown. Oops, that is the wrong one. That was not the right color. We just actually want to change up, we actually want to clear that one, and we wanted to change up the content, which is going to have the headline color. Alright, so that's the title, let's click on color and let's paste in our cool new color. Beautiful, great job. All right, and update it. And as you have more pages or articles on your site that you want to link people to, you can drop those in as well. Just click on content and then set up a link right here. And then, that'll go somewhere of your choosing, and that'll be linked from the icon itself and the title. Of course, if you want to put like a read more or learn more link right after your description, you can always drag that in. Just click back to the 9 boxes and grab a text editor and just slide that in right underneath, and then you can write whatever you want down here, like learn more, and then just link that like you would do with any other link in a blog post or a page. All right, so that's how you can do that. All right, so that's how to add a link, but for now we're just gonna keep it really simple. We are gonna right click, delete that link, and we're just gonna go ahead and add 3 icon boxes total. So now that we have the structure for this icon box, we can actually just duplicate it to the right. Okay, so I'm gonna right click on the icon box settings right here and duplicate. And it's gonna throw that one in as a 4th icon box. So, we're gonna have to remove the empty ones, that's fine. We can just duplicate it again. And then we can come over to the empty icon boxes and zap them. And zap it. Very cool. All right, now we just need to make those icon boxes original. So click on the second one, choose a different icon you might like. Okay, and now lastly, let's just change the color of our second icon. Let's click on style, and we're gonna need to go back to the Pantone site because we are in need of another color. Thankfully, it's really easy to find a color. We can just choose from our select your color window. All right, I'm feeling something like a green, maybe a dark green, and let's try to submit it. All right, and we're gonna go with one of the more neutral greens here. This one looks perfect. All right, and we have our hex HTML generated for us. Just highlight, copy, bring it back to the site, change the primary color of our icon box, and voila. All right, let's close that and let's go to the content. We're going to change our title color as well to that same green, and voila, and update. Great job. All right, now we just need to change up that 3rd icon box and we're done with this section. So click to the right, grab ourselves a new icon. We can search icons too. All right, so I'm going to choose the money one. All right, a little bit risky to have a money sign there because people don't like spending money, but it'll make sense when I write out our headline. All right, and then we're going to change the description to all right, very cool. So the color for our last icon box, I think should be like a red or maroon, just to give us a different sort of flair. And right now we seem to have too many earthy colors. So let's go back and choose something like a red or a maroon. All right, I think I remember one of the generic Pantones was like a red. No, it's too red. Let's try to go to our find another color and let's make it more like a pink, like a light off pink. Submit that. Oh, super cool sunset colors. Love, love, love. All right, choose your color, grab the hex, come back to the site, click on the icon box, click on style, and change the primary color. It's that easy. And there we go. Now we're in good shape. All right, let's close the color window. Open up content to change the title color. All right, and just paste it in and update. Beautiful, guys. All right, so let's see what we made. All right, and we did it. Perfect. Okay, guys, next on our website, moving downwards, we're gonna create just a fun quote section right beneath our featured icons. So that's gonna be done back in Elementor. Alright, which we're getting pretty good at now. And we're gonna just click on the I swear I'm not making this up as I go along. We're gonna click on the testimonial element, and then we're just gonna drag it in and drop it. Alright, so we can see it's already in quote form. All we have to do is just write over it and then replace it with an image, the name, and the title. Alright, so I have a quote from my boy Vikram Chatwal up here, and I'm just going to use this one. It's just kind of a funny, and then, you know, it explains just the idea that you could be anything and a lot of things, and that your website could resemble whatever you want it to resemble on the planet. Alright, we're just going to copy it, and alright, we're going to come back and we're going to paste it over this text. So that's pretty cool. We'll just delete it, and there we go. I thought that quote was pretty awesome. Alright, we're just going to delete the brainy quote credit. And now we can get a picture of Mr. Chatwal himself for the quote. Alright. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that was his son. We want the father. That's what I try to do. And we want his quotes. So, what did he say? The dude does not have enough quotes online, but I'm sure some of you guys can quote him out there. Please let me know in the comments. And I will replace this quote by the legend Sant Singh Chatwal's son, which we have right here. Okie dokie, we can put up his image though in the meanwhile, and hopefully we get a new quote from you guys, and maybe his father said that anyways, and then the son repeated it. So we can go back to images and grab a good picture. Alright, very good. Once we find a nice high quality image, just right click and save image as. Great guy, definitely the kind of guy we want to have on our website. And now we'll click choose image, upload files, select files. Alright, we're going to open the Chatwal image and insert media, and it'll automatically become that nice circle thumbnail. Now we're just going to change up the biography details. Chatwal. And what do they say he is? He must be a American Indian businessman. Very good. Alright, so we're just going to change the image position to top so that everything is centered. And then to make this quote section look even cooler, we're going to style the background. So let's click on Advanced at the top, open background, choose the classic type. Then we can choose a background image. And I know because this is such a thin section of our website that we're actually going to want like more of a pattern instead of just an image. So I'm going to get us a nice textured pattern to put behind that quote. Alright, very cool. Alright, very cool. Okay, sorry everybody, it took a little more searching than I thought it would, but we finally found some nice backgrounds from Pixabay. Alright, and I really like these two, the purplish one and the more grayish one. So let's just grab one of them, and then we can right click, save image as, and get our marble background. Now come back to the site, and we're going to get rid of that other background that it's not going to work because it has some crazy overlay on it. Alright. Don't know why they always have to do that. And we're going to grab our marble BG. Insert media. Super cool. Alright, how good does that look now? Very elegant. Now we just need to make this background stretch across the whole screen. To make it full width, let's just click on the 6 dots button right here for the section settings and just stretch that puppy all the way across. And if that doesn't work, then go from content width box to full width. Beautiful. And update. Alright, cool. So a viewer already complained that we should have a real quote here from Singh Chatwal, which makes sense. So I was able to dig one up from this great yet mysterious man on YouTube.
I used to build castles in the air. It's all mind game. You got to make up a strong mind. There has to be a fire in you. You've got to have big dreams to achieve it.
There we go. Perfect. So we'll go back to the site and we'll write in that new quote. Perfect. Much better. And you can find that video below this video. And so now we'll go down and we'll create our final section on the home page, except for the footer, which will come at the very end. And this final section is just going to be a nice little call to action. So let's click back to our elements in the upper left. And let's go ahead and drag in a new intersection. All right, just drop it in there. And now we can go ahead and choose a ideal width, like the 6633. Or if you don't like it, you can always just drag one column larger than the other. All right, and the reason I want this sort of breakdown is because we're going to have some text on the left and then some buttons on the right. All right, so let's do it. Let's go back to our elements and let's add in a text editor. All right, drop it right there in the plus section. And now we're just going to write out a nice call to action. So something you think that would appeal to your users. Okay, and once you write out your text, just go ahead and grab yourself a button to put on the right. So when you click on the plus section, it'll take you to the elements, just like when you click on a section with content in it, it takes you to the edit section for that particular piece of content. So plus section takes us to the elements. Perfect. We didn't have to click up here. And now we can just go ahead and grab a button and drop it in there. Perfect. All right, now let's change up the button. Just click on it to bring up the edit button section. And we're going to go ahead and make some basic changes like learn more instead of click here. Size medium. And now we'll go to the style. And it's a smart move now to mimic some of the colors we have in our icon boxes, just so people get used to seeing the same styles. So for our text color, I'm going to use this nice beautiful purple that we set up from the Pantones. So we're going to click that and we're going to copy the color. Really easy. Now we can click back to our button and we can click style and change the text color to the appropriate color right there. Just make sure you get that pound sign in there. Sometimes it comes in automatically. Perfect. And now we can close this. Make the background color absolutely nothing by dragging the opacity all the way to 0. And then we can just give it a border. Border radius is 2. Border type is solid. Border color is going to be that purple again. All right, great job. If the width gets removed, that's fine. Just pop it right back in. And now we have a button. And that's because I put the 2's in border radius instead of the width. Now that we have a number in border radius though, maybe you want that to be a little bit larger, like a 9 or a 10, so that the button becomes a little more rounded. Great job. Now, one interesting feature you might have noticed is that there's also a hover status for the buttons. If we click hover, then there's a whole new set of colors and styles that apply when, of course, you hover on the button. So what we can do is actually change things like the background color to be the color we want again, and then we can change the text color to just be white. And now when you hover on the button, the colors will reverse themselves. Pretty cool. All right, let's update it. And I'm just going to duplicate this button because we just decided at that one moment right there that we want 2 buttons. And that's the nice thing about WordPress. You can change your mind at any time and create. So let's click duplicate. And now let's just click on this button that we duplicated and align it to the left. Perfect. And we can even click on our text and bring it over to the right. so it's on one line. And click again and drag. See how easy that is to move different parts of your website? In the olden days, you had to use code, but those days are long gone. Okay, so now we don't need 2 learn mores. We actually want one to say, sign up here. All right, and then we want the second button to mimic the colors of our keeping it fun icon box. So click on the icon box, click on style, grab the color, super easy. All right, now click on the button you want to change. Go ahead and click style, text color, change it, border color, change it. Now we'll go to the hover status, background color, change it up, and of course make that text color white so you can actually read it. But it's already white, so we're good to go. And the text is already white, so perfect. All right, so now you know how to create 2 different types of new buttons with different hover states on them, and we'll update. And by the way, at the end of the tutorial, we're going to learn how to increase the font sizes and increase the spacing so that all the minor details on the site come together as well. For now, we're just creating content. Speaking of content, guys, why don't we go ahead and add a footer. To create the footer for our homepage, which we can also use on other pages, just go back to our elements. And now let's drag in the intersection that we've come to love and just drop it in the dotted line area. Now we're just going to put some text on the left and some links on the right. So let's go back to our elements and let's bring in a text editor for the left hand column. Perfect. And we're going to grab the elements and bring in a navigation menu for the right hand widget. So we can actually search widgets if we don't see what we want right away. You can just search for nav and you'll get navigation menu. And then we can just drag that in right here. For the menu, we need to select a menu, and right now we just have our main menu. But we don't really like how the main menu comes in vertically. We'd rather have this menu be horizontal links, like left to right. So what we can do is actually just delete this widget. And we can add in our own custom menu by going to the text editor and using that. This is a good skill for adding links and creating any sort of custom menu in your sidebar or your footer or whatever really. So let's start with the menu. We can just click on the text editor and then copy what the demo text says, that lorem ipsum, and delete it. Then we can just write out home, vertical bar about, vertical bar contact, vertical bar blog, because we'll have a blog. Because we obviously need somewhere to vent about our thoughts. Alright, so those links we will fill in later with the home link, about link, contact link, and blog link. We just need to change the copyright section on the left. So let's highlight that text. By the way, you can highlight it like in the editor window or on the left and edit it either way. It'll work. And I'm just going to write copyright 2018 Dear Blogger Inc. That's my brand. And then we're going to get the copyright symbol from Google. We can just steal that like right from Google results. And then we could just put that in there. All right, so copyright, I think it goes after the copyright. Cool, and then you can obviously link that if you want, or write like, you know, all rights reserved, which sounds official, but no one really knows what that means. All right, and then we'll update it. Super cool, and so we might need a little contrast between the footer and the links. We can just change the background of our footer. So to do that, we can just click on the 6 dots right here. We'll get the edit section area, and let's just make our content full width. All right, and then stretch it. All right, and then go to style and go to background, normal, and we're just gonna choose classic. And then in the color area, you can just click it and set like a light gray just to differentiate it a little bit. Not too much, but something around the realm of like F4, F4, F4 should be perfect. And update. All right, so the coolest thing about widgets on your site is you can use them across the whole site once we're ready. Of course, this one isn't quite ready because we haven't put in the links. All right, so we can polish off our footer now actually just by making the links come to life here. If we go to our site, we have one link for the About Us page. So you can just visit that page and copy the hyperlink from your browser. So it might say like About or About Us, whatever. Then just come back to this little text editor, double click the about, click the insert edit link and paste and insert. All right, so that's really easy. You can double click home and link, and we can paste and then get rid of the about us section right there and apply. And then we can do the same sort of thing for the contact. We can just double click to highlight, insert edit link, right click, paste, and then we can just delete about us in between the two slashes and write contact, apply, and then for blog we'll just double click, link, paste. Not sure why that one went off the screen, sorry about that, but this page is just going to be /blog/apply and update. So once it updates, one of the coolest things about Elementor that I wanted to tell you is that you can use a section like this that you made on the entire site and you don't have to recreate it again. So there's a few ways to do this, and one way is to save it as a template. So if we're on this particular section that we made, so all you need to do to use one of these sections across your whole site as a template is just right click on the section settings box right here, and you're going to get save as template, so click that. Now we just need to name this template, so just footer will do, save it, and it's going to say we have a name, it's a section created by us, and now we've used it and we can insert it on other pages because it's in the My Templates library, and we can just X out. So that's one way to use a section across your whole site. Another way would be to create the template in your dashboard and then apply a condition to it where it always goes in your footer or your header or something. But that's a little more complicated, so it's a good idea to start doing it like this. All right, I think our site is updated. Let's go ahead and check it out on the home page and refresh. And we can see we have a perfect looking site, but it's actually not quite perfect because a few things are off. On the home page, I would love it if the text were a little bit higher up on the image. I would also love it if the font was bigger and if there was more space around our quote, more space around our buttons, and this footer were gone. So now that we've created our homepage, it's a good time to do the spacing and sizing of the homepage. So first, let's tackle the image and let's learn how to make our text positioned differently. Let's go back to the Elementor editor, and of course we could just move the text. If we click on the text, if we click on the pencil icon, then we could click advanced and we could apply some margin to it, like 40, which would move everything a little bit, or even 400, which would move like everything. You could try the padding too. So this is a way to just space things out. Padding is going to be space above and below the content within the content, and margin is going to be space outside of the content, meaning outside of this blue line right here. So that's one way to space things, but I actually want to get more aggressive and actually change the image so that the text just sits at a higher spot on the image. So to do that, we're actually going to need to edit this background image. To crop an image, just go back to your dashboard. Let's go to media and let's find the image. Alright, and now let's click on it. And this is a massive image, guys, 2500 by 1406 pixels, so it's not going to hurt if we chop off a little bit of the rocks down here. And by doing that, we'll actually get the text just to position higher up in the sky because there won't be rocks and the whole image will kind of be pushed downwards. We'll see how it works. So when we go back to the media, all we need to do is click edit image, and we can sort of eyeball on the home page that we want, like, you know, a certain amount off the rocks. So we probably want the text up like about as much as the height of this entire section. So we need to take off like somewhere along the lines of like this much from the rocks. All right, so let's do it. Let's go back to our media library. And now we can just click to crop the image and drag. And we're gonna bring it up so that there's just less rocks. All right, it's probably gonna look cooler overall because no one really wants to look at a bunch of rocks. All right, and once you have it, just click the crop button and the save button. All right, so now let's click out of media and let's check out our site. And it might not update yet because we actually need to change the background image. Let's go to the entire section settings, click style, delete the image, update the page. Now let's click on the image again. Alright, and if it still has your original image, you just need to like refresh the whole page. Alright, so everything's still there. Now let's just click on our section settings, style, background image. We should have our new image nicely cropped, so we'll just insert media. And there should be enough sky to float our text way above the rocks. Now it looks much cooler. So let's update it and refresh. And now that part will be done. Alright, the next thing we were going to work on was the spacing. So let's get some spacing going on our icon boxes and on our quote. Alright, and believe me, little things like this make a huge difference. So let's click on the entire settings of our icon boxes. Let's click on advanced. And let's go ahead and add some padding, which will be spaced within the element. Alright, so you can just try any number like 50, and you can see how things will space out automatically. That might be a little bit much. Maybe something like 32. Generally like multiples of 4 if we can, just to have it, and update. We're also going to increase the text size of our icon boxes just to make it look pretty. So let's go to style, and we can change the content, and in content we just need to change the description typography. Alright, so we can just easily bring that text up a little bit, somewhere along the lines of like 18. Not 2180. 18 should be perfect, and if you want, you can go ahead and like weight it something a little bit more like, you know, bolder. Just don't go for like too bold, you know. All right, perfect. Let's grab the second icon box and do the same thing. So just style, content, description, typography, size 18, and weight 400. Alright, and now the third one, super easy, style, content. So you really become a pretty fast, pretty efficient web designer as you go along these steps, guys, trust me. 18, weight, 400, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. And update. Alright, now let's put some more space around our quote. So, edit section, advanced, and we could try like our usual 32 padding, but that will actually make the white space come out, which we don't want. So what we're going to want is actually to space out the content within the section and not the whole section. So let's click on our testimonial, and it'll bring up the edit testimonial box. Now click advanced, and now let's try a little bit of padding, like 16. Alright, maybe we want a little more like 24. Maybe even bump it up a little bit to like 32, and perfect. I really can't say enough that you have to use white space, use pattern space, use the blank space to your advantage. Alright, now let's do the same thing to our buttons. Click on the edit section, click advanced, and you really just have to play around with that padding feature. You're going to get better at it over time. You just got to figure out what works. And if it looks like there's more space above than below, then you can unlink the values, and you can go ahead and add like a little bit more beneath, and you can make it even by doing it that way. Alright, pretty cool. Let's bring this text size up a little bit. So just click on it, click style, click typography, and bring it up to our usual 18 and our usual font weight of 400. And now our footer is sitting here, so we're going to click the edit section, and we're going to give it a little more space, advanced padding, something along the lines of like 8 should be perfect, and we'll just update the site. Alright, so now let's see the changes we made. Everything's kind of bunched together right now, even though it looks cool. Now if you make some changes like that to your site and you're sure that they should show up, but they just don't, then it might be because the cache on your site or browser is clogged. We can check on the cache in the dashboard, and we can click settings, and beautiful. I guess it just took a second longer. The cache knew we were coming for it, so it decided to update. So now the site looks good. Sorry if it just takes a couple refreshes to get it right. Again, if you want to hurry up the process and you don't see your changes, as of course you'd want to do, you'd want it to be hurried up, you should get the extension I have here, which is Clear All Cache, that goes on Google Chrome, and it works perfectly. Alright, so our homepage is done. We just need to get rid of that footer, so we can do it by coming back to our edit page window. So we're going to go to the WordPress editor, and we're just going to go back to our OceanWP settings that we used for the header, like for the menu and the logo. We're going to click footer, you guessed it, and just click disable and update. And doing that should zap the footer because we made our own. We want to use our own. Click view page, and now we don't have to deal with two footers. We'll just have one beautiful footer that we made. Alright guys, you're learning a lot here, and most importantly, you're learning how to make a WordPress website your own way. Alright, so now we just want to apply some of the homepage magic to our About Us page and use some of the skills that we already learned to create this next page on our site. So let's click to the About Us page and get working. We just have this demo content here, so let's click Edit Page and let's create a totally custom page. So the first thing you want to look at is that the template is Elementor full width, which matches the template of the home page. And we want Elementor full width so it goes all the way across the screen and uses Elementor stuff. But if you choose Elementor Canvas, that's going to make us not be able to use this OceanWP stuff at the bottom, which will control how the header on this page looks. So what do we need to do in OceanWP? Well, just the same as the home page. Let's make the content layout full width so it stretches across, disable the margin so there's no annoying white space. And then in header, go ahead and choose disable the top bar, don't need that, and enable the header. And then in header style, go ahead and choose transparent. Now click down to title and disable that. We don't want that at all. And in footer, disable. Easy as that, and update it. Great, so now we can actually use some stuff from the home page on the About page. So to see what we're working with, let's open the page in a new tab. Alright, and we have basically nothing, just this demo video. But what we want is to use the same content from the home page. For example, the hero image at the top of the home page. So how do we use that on a different page? Well, just go back to the home page and click Edit with Elementor. And then you can go to one of the sections you've already made, like the big hero image at the top, and just right click on this 6 boxes button and click Save as Template. Super easy. Now we just need to give it a name, like hero image. I like going super basic and save it, and that way we can use it on different pages. Alright, that part's done. Now come back to your About page and just refresh it so that it knows that we made those other changes on the different tab, and it's the most recent version of your site. And now click Edit with Elementor. Alright, very good. Now we just need to come to the top and click plus to give us that new section. Click on the folder now to grab a template, and click My Templates, and Hero Image, Insert. And then we're going to say no here because we just want to insert the the element itself and not import the settings of the entire homepage. Because we just want to import the hero image itself and not all the settings of the homepage, and click no. Alright, so we got ourselves a hero image. Pretty cool. Now all you really need to do here is just click on the section settings. Already got it. Style, delete the image and choose a new one by clicking that again. And now just click on our nice little beach picture and insert media. And there you have it. Perfect. Totally new hero image. We can just click on the headline right here and change it. And now when we scroll down, we see the hero image looks good, covers the whole page, looks like a full image, has that nice really HD quality to it. And yeah, perfect. We can just update it. Alright, the next step we want to do on our About page is just change up the video. And you'll see that the video is sitting inside a text editor, because earlier on in the video we just pasted some YouTube code into the WordPress editor. So we actually want to move this video into a different element. Right now it's in a text editor, as we can see here, and we want to make it its own video element, and that way the whole video will show up. Simple as that. So what I like doing is just clicking the video title and opening it.
Hey guys, it's Greg, and welcome
in
back.
a new tab, copying the link. Now you can go back to Elementor and right click on the pencil and delete this little element, and now just bring in a video for our first time drag it in there, delete the URL that they give you, and paste in our own, and now the whole video will show up. Super cool. So Elementor also has these video options, which basically decide how YouTube operates on your web page. So you can like literally remove the title of the video, or you can remove like the controls, like when people click on the bar beneath the video, that red bar. So you can get rid of that or add more stuff and make it simple or not simple. What I like doing is keeping the player controls so people can skip around on the video, but removing the video info. And that way people almost have to click play on the video and watch it on your site and stay on your site, which inevitably is almost always a good thing. So we're going to leave just player controls checked. And now we're going to move on, although you can try the other ones, like you can autoplay it so that people don't have to click anything, the video just plays. A lot of people ask me how to autoplay a video on WordPress. You can loop it like a GIF, so on and so forth. But for now, we're going to click Advanced. And I want to move on to some video styling. So one of the coolest things we can do is give our video some padding, like 16, and inset it inside of itself, so it has some white space in between the border and the video. And then we can click Border, Box Shadow, and we can give our video like an actual little blur around it. You can just increase the blur, and that way it'll look like the video is actually sitting inside like a picture frame. Really cool. Even cooler, you can click Hover, Box Shadow, and make the box shadow even bigger. Like instead of 32 or whatever we just did, 72. And then when people hover on it, the shadow increases and it looks like someone's actually like hovering on top of a picture frame. And it gives people that nice little sensation of like, oh, you hovered on it and it changed. Now maybe we'll click it and it'll change more. And that'll get people to hopefully click play. Okay, sorry, my voice is getting kind of dry here. We're just gonna update, and our video looks really good now. Now our homepage just needs a little story of our journey beneath it. So I'm going to click back to the elements right here and drag in a text editor and just sort of freestyle a little bit of our story. All right, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, once you have your story here, that's really cool because this is like a great place to write your story or your mission statement or your goals for your audience. Just make sure you don't do any bolding or changing the text in the text editor, because what that will do is in the text tab here, it'll just add in some unnecessary code. So we can see if we like bold some text like the Indian word, then it's going to add a strong right over here. And we don't want that because that makes it harder for Elementor to process our text. Elementor would rather change our text through style. And when you do it through style, you get a lot more options, like the typography, where we can choose our usual font of 18 and our usual weight of 400. And by the way, like every different font family you could want is also here. So this is how you want to do it. Makes it easier on you. And the last thing we have to do is just make some margin around our text, maybe a nice little 32 to take advantage of some white space. All right, and now the last element we need here is, of course, our footer. We can click on the folder to grab a template again, my templates, boom, insert the footer, no, usually want to click no there, and update. Super cool. And now let's see how our about page looks. Let's just get rid of this Elementor window and go back to the homepage. I really wish Elementor had like a go to homepage button. Think they might work on that soon though. And now we have the most beautiful about page ever, which talks about your business. We just need to actually make that padding on the video bigger so that we can take advantage of our white space. So come back to the Elementor editor, click on the settings for the video, advanced. We can see that we don't have any margin, so maybe like a really simple 40 and update. Again, a multiple of 4 is good. Or maybe you want to do multiples of 5, whatever, you know, floats your boat. And super cool. All right, so now we have an about page. Great job. Alright guys and gals, now it is time to set up our contact page. To do that, we can hover on our skinny nav at the top and get on the new button and click page. And we can just call this one. Okay, so contact for the title. Template is our favorite Elementor full width. And that lets us use the Ocean WP settings as well. Alright, so content layout, full width. Get rid of those margins. Now for header, we're going to disable top bar and enable the header where we put our logo and our nav menu. And for title, just get rid of that whole thing. And for footer, get rid of that whole thing as well because we insert our own custom footer we made. So these are pretty standard Web Designer Ocean WP settings that I use a lot of the time, and obviously you can mix it up on your sites, or when you make client websites they might need different sorts of header styles or titles or menus. For example, the nice thing is you get that flexibility, but what we're learning here is just like a good baseline to start. So you'll have the foundation to do a lot more. Alright, let's just publish the page to get it live, and then we can edit with Elementor. Okay. Alright. Thank you for installing. Okay, so there's some giveaway here for the Ocean WP Core Extension Bundle. If you want to check it out, pretty cool. Alright, and now edit with Elementor. Okay, so just like our About page, we can now click on the Template button right here. My Templates, and we're going to use our hero image. Just click Insert, and no. Alright, so let's change the image now. Let's just click on the section settings at the top. Style, delete the image, and then click to add another one. And if you downloaded our website images for this video, you'll have this nice picture of our lotus temple. Alright. And so you can use that one, or maybe you want to use like this contact page sort of image that shows like a nice workspace. It's not my workspace, but a guy can dream, you know. And so I can actually show you how to use both of these images. We can put one at the top. Alright, there we go. And then maybe we decide that we want the image to only go like 50% of the page and not cover the whole hero space. So to change that, you can just go to Layout, and where we have Height Fit to Screen, you can just choose something else. Like min height, that's pretty cool. Then we can give ourselves a little more space around the text and the buttons here just by clicking the Edit Section button. Go to Advanced, and then just set up some padding, which will push everything inside the image. Alright. Good job. Alright, now we can just update the page. So now let's change up the headline of the page. So we're going to get rid of those buttons just to not distract people, so they just focus on actually sending us an email and not clicking off to somewhere else. Alright, but you know, some people like using them. Up to you. Now we're going to go back to our elements because this upper section is done, and we can drag in the inner section where we're going to put a contact form and then a little message over here with our email, phone number, etc. So let's update. And we actually have to get that contact form from a plugin that a lot of people like using. So we can just go back to our dashboard, click on the hamburger stack in the upper left, and then exit to dashboard. Now click plugins, add new at the top. Alright, and we're just going to grab contact form 7. Alright, this is pretty much internationally the favorite for contact forms. Lets you make a simple form for free and then make more complex forms if you have knowledge of short codes. Make sure to activate it. Alright folks, and then we're just going to go to the settings for the contact form plugin, which will be in plugins. Just click on the settings button. And now you just need to click where it says shortcode and highlight all this, copy it, and we're going to go back to our pages now. Alright, and our contact page. Edit with Elementor, of course. Okay, very good. And now we just need to grab the shortcode feature from Elementor. So here it is, down towards the bottom. just pull it in, and what this plugin does is it understands like when we paste in some different shortcode from a different plugin or a third-party site, it knows how to generate it. So just paste it, and there's your contact form. Simple as that. Very cool, guys. Now let's go back to our elements, and we can grab an icon box, or an icon list rather, for the left. Pop it in there. Alright. We're just going to call the first one email. Then pop in your email. Alright, and I really do like helping you guys through this email if you're stuck in the tutorial or if you have questions about HostGator or something like that. Now we can just make our icon, just mail envelope. And we can actually link this button to mail to : our email. And then the site will understand that when they click it, then it should take someone to their email client like Gmail or Outlook Express and just have that email entered already. Alright, now we can make the second list item. So phone, alright, and so I can't give off a real business email phone right now because we don't have a system set up to actually take calls like that and help you guys. So hopefully we take on more of a team members in the future that can actually field your questions. But for now, that's just nonsense. And then list 3, we can just do address. Alright, and I can put where I work. Or, well, when I'm around. That's a cool place where I get an office in New York at YouTube. Because, they like YouTubers and they like creativity. Pretty cool. It's like actually right next to YouTube and Google. We don't get the keys to the castle, but we get like a little side space. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, we can just change up the icons. So whatever you want to do should work just fine. Icons are obviously not a big deal. And we'll update the page. Alright, so the last feature our contact page needs is a Google map, and that way you can actually show people like where you are, especially if you're in one of the bustling, busy cities of India and it's just hard to actually get there once you're close by. People might need that pinpoint accuracy. Alright, and so to get our embeddable map for our website, the easiest way is just to Google your address. And if Google has it, they'll pull it up. Just click on the map button. So we didn't even need to go into Google Maps through Google. We just went right here to the main page. And now you just need to click on the share button, which you might not have noticed before, and embed a map. And click on this iframe right here to highlight it and just copy the whole thing. Alright, and so they change up their tools for maps a lot. They're always working for us, but this is just the easiest way to get a map. Now what you do is you come back to the WordPress website we're making, click on the elements and grab a text editor and just drop that in right beneath our icon list. Now go to text and we'll delete the demo content and just paste in your Google map. And WordPress and our hosting is smart enough that it should render that map. Alright, beautiful. Great job. Now we'll update. So I know I told you I'd put the image of the temple there, but you can just have that in your back pocket for later, or maybe you put that next to the map. You can put a picture of what it looks like when someone actually gets to your spot right here. So kind of like two ways of seeing the same thing, like map view, bird's eye view, and then upfront view. So we just need our footer now. Let's click on the template, my templates, and insert our footer. And really easy. Alright guys, the last thing I want to do is just give us some spacing around this middle content. Just click on the section settings right here, advanced, margin, and we're going to go with like a 40 up top and a 40 beneath. And you'll notice it says auto on the right and left. That just means there's like an automatic size that should look good on the left and on the right. Of course you can unlink and you can actually change everything. Alright, and update. And when we go to our site now, contact page should be done. Alright. Only thing is we didn't put our contact page in our menu, so we need to do that. So we can scroll down and check out the link in the footer. Alright, and it is done. Really cool. Good job. Alright guys, so WordPress likes just logging us out from time to time. If that ever happens to you, you can just visit yourdomainname.com/wpadmin, or the even more modern way, which is just /login, and that'll get you to the login screen. We can get back in. Okay, cool. And if you see any updates in the upper right, you gotta just update those right away. Don't let those pile up on you, because then you might have a site that's slower or less secure, and we don't want that. Just make sure not to click off the screen when it's updating, because then it'll say it's in maintenance mode and you don't want to see that screen. Okay, so we saw that the contact page had that one little problem. It didn't have the logo in the menu. So we can easily do that, and we can fix that just by going to edit page. We can scroll down, and in header, just make the header style transparent and update it. And while we're here, we can also set our menu to the font color of white. When you're just looking at the links, they'll be white, and when you hover on the links, we can set that to our homepage gold, which I copied from the Elementor editor on the homepage. And super cool. Alright, now we can update. So I know it's a little work doing that on each of your pages, but believe me, it's worth it. And pretty soon it becomes easier because you just start to feel like your own web designer. Alright, we have one more page to make, which is our blog page. And then we're just going to make sure that our site looks perfect and all the buttons are linked and the menu items are linked, and then we'll be ready to launch it. So the blog page operates kind of on its own. It doesn't have like an Elementor page builder. It just has blog posts that automatically fill in, and WordPress just works that way. It knows that one blog post should go here, and then the next most recent one should push it down and go at the top, and then there'll be a sidebar, and there's a way to edit everything, but on the blog page it's just a little bit different. So let's see what's going on when we click edit page. And we should be able to see that we have the usual Ocean WP settings. So let's go ahead and run through those. The only difference is we're going to keep our content layout default so that we keep our sidebar, because we're going to put some cool blog stuff in the sidebar, like a like button. So it tells us you are currently editing the page that shows your latest posts. Sort of like that's why you don't see the Elementor window here. That's what it's explaining to us. And that's okay. We're actually going to keep all our Ocean WP settings the same, because the settings I told you for our other pages are perfect when we use that Elementor full width canvas. But in the case of the blog page, we don't want to change up the page or the canvas. We want to like keep some white margins, keep the page title right here, and keep the white at the top. The only thing is we don't have our logo, because we only have a white logo. So I'm going to hop back over to Logo Maker, or Logo Maker without the E as it is, and I'm going to get that logo in a darker color, and then I'm going to come back here and show you how to put it in. Okay, so I got our elephant logo, and I got a purple one because it matches the home page. So I'm super excited to put it up on our blog page. Let's just go to the blog one, and let's get that logo inserted. We can just click edit page at the top. Alright, and we're just going to go to the logo now and add image, and this will kind of replace whatever the default logo is on your site with the specific logo for this page. Just click upload files, select files, find the logo. There she is. Set as image. Alright, so it's in there, and update. Now when we view the blog page, the site will already know to size it down, but it'll show up perfectly because it's a different purplish color. So we already covered how to write your first blog post during our WordPress tour, but you might want to put an image on it. And I can show you how to do that now. Just open it up, click edit post, and we already have that one image of ourselves, but if you add a featured image down here on the lower right, then that'll show up on the blog page. So we can choose one of our beautiful options here, like this nice picture of the Lotus Temple, set featured image, and just update the post, guys, and now we should have a better looking blog. So if we go back to our home page and then click blog, we should see an image right there. And the really nice thing is when you create more and more posts, they stack on top of each other and people get to look at all of your nice photography and images, and that should entice them to go ahead and read your whole post. And the nice thing is, guys, once you create more and more blog posts, your photography will just stack on top of each other and people will get to see a nice gallery of images just by visiting your blog page, which should entice them to click and read through on your post. So the blog page is looking a lot better. We just need to add some good content to our sidebar. This is the default WordPress content, like recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and it doesn't mean much right now until we have a lot of posts. So the key move is to remove it so that it doesn't look like our blog is empty. We never want to show weakness in that sense. So let's go to the Customize window, and we can actually visit the sidebar editing section from Customize. Okay, so let's click Widgets, and then let's click Default Sidebar, and that's where all these widgets live. So we're going to actually remove the recent post, just open it and remove, and then do the same for comments, and so on and so forth. Meta would help you log into your site if you're not so sure how to get to the admin login screen. You could use that, or maybe you make this for a client and they really aren't techy enough to go to their domainname.com/login or wp-admin, then this is a pretty good option, but in our case, just doesn't quite fit the look. All right, and we're going to remove categories too because we don't have a lot of those yet. And publish. So while we're here, I'd like to show you how to set up the Facebook like box so people can actually interact with your Facebook page right there in line with the sidebar without even leaving your site. And of course, they can like your page too. Super important stuff. So let's go to the Facebook page plugin, as it's called. Click on this link, and let's get you all set up. You just need to have your own free Facebook page made. So that's really easy if you haven't done it already. Mine's already inserted. And then all you need to do is just play around with the settings a little bit. You can choose if it's timeline or not. Up to you. The default settings work pretty well for me though. Alright, and then once you're ready with your page plugin, just click Get Code. Now go ahead and click on step 3, and we'll do step 2 after. And then copy the step 3 stuff. Go back to your Customize window, click Add Widget. Then just click on a arbitrary text widget. Go to the text tab, dismiss, and paste it in. And you can even give it a title like Join Us on Facebook. A little prompt for everyone, and then publish it. Alright, and there's one more step to getting the Facebook page plugin all hooked up. Let's just X out of here and go to your dashboard. See, it didn't quite show up already. Now go to plugins. Just click on Add New. And we're going to get a plugin called Insert Headers and Footers. Just look for Insert Headers and Footers. This is one of the most basic plugins that's really central to WordPress needs, and that WordPress need is when you need to insert code from Facebook, Google+, maybe Google AdSense, Google Analytics. This plugin can handle all of it. So just install it. It's also made by my friends at WP Beginner. Super cool guys. And then click Activate. And then you're going to want to come back to Facebook, grab step 2's code, copy it, go back to your WordPress site, and now in settings, you have a Insert Headers and Footers box. You actually have 2 boxes, and just drop that code from Facebook in the header box and save it. And that'll say like, okay, website, communicate with Facebook. So now when you click blog, now things should be loading perfectly, and someone can go ahead and like it or unlike it, comment, they can do all that right from the sidebar. Okay, super cool, very good work. Alright guys, so now that our 4 pages are working, we should make sure that all 4 pages, home, about, contact, and blog, are loaded up in the navigation menu of each page. Alright, so to do that, we can just hover at the skinny navigation at the top and click menus. And now we can go ahead and add those to the menu, just blog and contact and add to menu. And I usually like putting blog at the end, just standard format. By the way, you can always create a drop down menu just by indenting like that, but we don't need to right now. All right, and save it up. Now let's go to our site. Perfect. And we can make sure the menu looks good on the other pages. So the About Us page actually needs a little work. We got to make that menu white. So let's click Edit Page. All right, open the Ocean WP settings, click Menu. Link color, white. Link hover color is our special gold. All right, get that gold in there and update. So now our About Page menu is ready to go. Really cool white and gold hover. Let's try the contact. Good to go. Let's try the blog. And not quite good to go. So let's edit page. And obviously on the blog page, we're going to keep the menus looking in the black font. We're going to keep that black color. But for the hover color, we're still going to make it gold. Stay gold. All right. And update. And go back to the site. And now you might be wondering what we're going to do with our click here and click here buttons. If you click here, you click there, you click here. It's not really that helpful if it's just telling you to click here in two places. We actually want people to use our buttons. So we're actually going to change them so that they link to our very basic but very user-friendly pages we already have on our site. To change up the buttons, we can obviously click Edit with Elementor at the top. And of course, this is just a demo site, so we don't have a ton of content live. But when you make yours, then I hope that these buttons really help people get around the site efficiently. So the first one is really useful if you just write Learn More. All right, and then we can just link that to our About page. We can just right-click on the navigation menu and copy link address. And then we can just drop it in the link option. All right, sorry, Google. And then for the second button, I like going with something like book a trip or plan a visit, schedule a tour, whatever type of business you are. This is a great place for them to go ahead and contact you for more. So I'm going to keep it super simple and just write get in touch. All right, because you want those leads from your customers on your website. That's why your website exists in part, just to get people to reach out. All right, so that's of course going to link to our contact page. Just copy that link address and drop it in. Sorry, Google. And update. All right, now we can go to our home page. Just make sure it's done updating. Okay, let's go back to our home page. And now those buttons should be working. All right, so our website is finally starting to look like a real website. Very cool. For the About Us buttons, we can just use the same sort of strategy. We can just link them from the About page to the contact page and the blog page. So, we've got to use what we got here, and I think what we got is something really powerful. Because simple is key. Okay, so we can just click the click here button, change it up to get in touch again. Or maybe the visitor wants to learn even more about you than what's listed on your About page, and in that case, they can read the blog. All right, super cool. We just need those links. So first one is contact, copy it, drop it in. Sorry, Google. Second one is blog. All right, and you might wonder why we're linking to the same pages in different locations, and that's because people need to be reminded. It's very unlikely that someone's going to see only one of your buttons and click the button and make it happen for you. It's more likely that someone's going to actually need to see it twice, and then they'll click it. All right. Make sure that contact link got in there. Sorry, Google. And great. And update. All right, guys, I think we're in business now. Let's go see what we made. All right, let's just make sure that our links are working. Super cool. Your blog obviously needs some more posts, so go ahead and think one of those up after your day is done today. Sit down at the computer, draft it up, and write something that'll change the world. Don't write something boring, because there's a lot of boring blog posts out there. And if we click on our purple elephant, it'll obviously take us back to our home page. All right, and we are officially done building our free demo website for this India WordPress video. Thanks so much for watching through to the end, and I hope you enjoy your free website made with the Ocean WP theme and the Elementor page builder. You truly have the best of the best, and now it's up to you to go out and really go get them and put your best foot out there into the world. I know you can do it, and I'll be here to help you at every step of the way, I promise. Alright guys and girls, thanks so much for watching because I really enjoyed making this for you. And I just want you to know that I'll be here for you in the comments. Please make sure to drop a note. Just say hello, that's fine. Every question is a smart question in my book. Alright, so there has to be a fire in you, and you've got to have big dreams to achieve it. And I'll make sure to leave some more goodies for you in the show more section beneath the video. So hit that up. And if you check out the original video with the premium website on it, you might find a few more golden nuggets in there. Alright, so thanks so much for watching guys. I hope your website becomes your love. And I'm Greg Narayan, and I'll make sure to see you next time. Alright, talk to you later.